Okay. And there were a lot of entries for the street photography contest. Remember, I was not the only judge, okay? um, there were a lot of entries. I wanted to thank everybody that entered. It wasn't easy. Wasn't easy for me either. It wasn't only me. Oh, Lordy. Where do you begin? Here's one image of 7. Now there are going to be 5. We're going to be 5 finalists, but we kept. I'm going to use the word bickering, but going back and forth about 3 or 4 different images. I won't say which 3 or 4, but ultimately we couldn't decide, and there had to be 7 images that were sent to the finale instead of 5 for the drawing on the photo contest, but that's being inclusive. Now obviously I could say we could include everyone, but literally we could not narrow it down to 5 images, so 7 were included. I wanted to say a huge thanks to Jeff, law enforcement officer that sponsored this contest. I've got the huge box, and it is a rather huge box of prizes in the back room back there to send off to the winner for the drawing a little bit later today. But I've got the links for all these images. I'd like for you to click them below if you can't see them extremely well in this video. I could have zoomed in a little bit more on this video so you could see on the screen, but you can see them perfectly fine. Wow, this image is remarkable. The lighting, the character of the lady. It seems like she, we always project ourselves into images the way way our own mind works, but I'm only assuming that, while she's living the harsh reality of her life, on the outside she still might be hearkening back to the days when she was much younger and things were probably better by having the girlish polka-dotted bow in her hair. That image is actually really powerful. The lighting, everything about it is powerful. I think anybody would agree on that one. I kind of gave these a name, like bow and hair. Gave them really simple names. Let's go on to the second image, another very powerful image. Here we have the powerful architecture, and there we have the beat down, half his hair is missing, and he's looking down into the dirt carrying his briefcase. I call this off to work. I think that's actually what the photographer called it, off to work as well. And as I said, all the links for these are below, and these are numbered in no specific order. This is image number 2. I've numbered them from image 1 to 7 in no particular order of priority over one over another. This one actually works on so many different levels. Here we have the idealized world, and here we have reality of the working schmuck whose life is probably misery and bills and worry and pain. And here we have the noetic world of look at the muscles, look at everything is just perfect. The idealized. This image actually works on so many different levels. It's reminiscent of a few different street photographers that I won't name because then it makes it sound like it's derivative. This is moving, and it's also very, very telling of its own respect on many different levels. If you actually can't see 4 or 5 different layers of this image speaking to you, then you're not thinking very hard. Let's go on to image number 3. I'd call this a knife of light. Here we have one of the great things of exposure. One of the beautiful things, now if you were using your eyeballs, which are always adjusting to variable lighting conditions, you would not have seen this. If you had looked through the viewfinder, you would not have seen this either unless it was like a mirrorless camera and you'd already preset the exposure to, -3 stops or whatever. You would not have seen this. This is seeing without seeing. This is seeing what is potentially there. A very powerful image, very powerful street image. Another perfect example, too, of being able to see something vis-a-vis exposure. It's like, there's an image here that no one can see with their eyes. If I actually stopped it down something magical would appear. And a wonderful image. So that's image number 3. Go on to image number 4. Exquisite. We all, there's me, another judge who's written a few books of photography. One of them is a book on ice. It's an entire book of ice formations. It's a person I know, and another one is a teacher of photography, who's a female. Look at this. We all kind of agreed on this one that was kind of shocking. The lighting and how they're kind of reaching out and touching this poor older lady who's hobbling along with her cane. It's like the images on the wall are looking down at her, and or her shadow. This image is really powerful. It's absolutely sublime. All these images are exquisite, obviously so. There are many, many exquisite images in this contest. I hope, that's the one thing that actually always upsets me about these contests. They upset me because there's so many excellent images, and I never win anything in life. I mean, I've entered, not photography kind of mean, like, for winning things, and, you know, so don't feel left out. But it upsets me that, you know, I've got one set of prizes to give out, and it upsets me that, you know, these 7 images, of which there's supposed to be 5, but several we couldn't agree on, so ultimately 7 had to be included instead of 5, that, you know, even still there's only 7 of them out of the, you know, many countless images that were submitted. You know. Exquisite. The lighting, the dynamic range, the composition of this is absolutely excellent. This tunnel of light, I can actually see all the details, and, you know, just barely edging, barely edging the dynamic range of shadow detail. This is really skimming it without blowing out the highlights of the light at the end of the tunnel. All of these are images that I'd want to print out hanging on my wall, to be honest with you. I love looking at these and looking at them over and over again and coming back to them. They have many layers of subtlety and complexity. Kind of like a fine wine. I don't drink, but I actually have, you know, had fine wine, and you could taste it and taste it again, and you'll notice something different every time you taste a fine wine. And really good photographs are like that. They work on many different levels, not only of lighting and composition, but they work on implication. They work on psychological implications, such that depending on the mood that you're in, it could actually mean something else. Like if you come in out of the rain, you're in a bad mood, you look at an image, and it says something to you different than if you're in a happy mood or whatever. And you see the image on your wall again. A lot of these images, they are prime movers. They also impel or repel, and both of those things are valid when it comes to photography. They can either impel, repel, or stop you. And really good images work on levels that do all 3 of those. And all of these images do that to a great degree. I call this one digging for gold. It's not funny at all. But we have the juxtaposition of, you know, the rich guy going through his leather briefcase, and, you know, the poor guy down on his luck digging through the trash, and, you know, the mirror images of humanity. This is another one of those images that works on so many different levels. Sublime, perfect street photograph. Well, I don't know if I need to even say anything about this image, do I? Doesn't it speak for itself? The anguish, the lighting. Does this image really need much explanation? Do I need to even, you know, defile it by, you know, throwing words at it? Any of these images, for that matter. Good images don't need explanation either. You know what a bad image is? When you have to explain it. You know, it's like, oh, what is this? It's like, well, this is this, and I took the image then, and, you know, something bad just... Good images are their own poem, their own haiku that are completely self-contained, and they're transcendent to language barriers. They're transcendent to many, and they don't need me flapping my lips about them. All of these images, not just this one, all of these images are like that. They are transcendent to me. They are their own self-contained poetry of psychological manipulation I don't mean manipulation is always has a bad implication. It's like, oh, I'm going to manipulate you. It means something bad. There is good manipulation. There is pure, undefiled manipulation. But all of these are manipulating images that don't need me flapping my lips about them. I just wanted to say a few things about them. Not that they need anything to be said about them. So please click the links below. Here's image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And none of these are numbered in any particular order. That's just how I numbered them. And these are the photo contest finalists. And next video, I'm going to have a drawing for the winner. It will be a blind, fair drawing. That has always in the past turned out to be the methodology that has sparked the least ire. Because, you know, when I made a choice out of, you know, X number on the judges, like, we decided this, oh, I don't know how this image was better, you know. That way, all 7 finalists have an equal, you know, and have a blind drawing, and you will see that it's completely fair. And so I'm going to stick with the methodology that draws the least ire from people. I wanted to thank everybody that entered the contest. And like I said, the one thing that always upsets me about these contests, 2 things, that there's only, you know, 1 box of goodies to give away. And God knows how much it's going to cost to ship that big-ass box, too. It's a big old box of goodies. It's a big box of goodies. Wanted to say thanks to Jeff. Yeah, but the other thing that upsets me, and it doesn't upset me in a bad way, it just kind of generally upsets me, is that, you know, out of those countless images that were submitted, that you know, there's only these 7, because there are a lot of awesome images. There really are. You know that, but nevertheless, it still grates on my nerves. Sorry for that. But hey, at least I'm being honest about it, right? So thank you to everybody who submitted, and congratulations to the 7 finalists. These are all hardcore definitions of true street photography, and they speak for themselves on many different levels. Of that, there is no denying. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. The Russians would say, "Большое вам спасибо." Thank you very much. And next we'll have a drawing for the contest winner, which will be announced in a video, and you'll see me doing the contest. Everything will be fair and square. And thank you. Thank you so much. It's been fun. It's also been extremely, you know, you have no idea how much just me alone, by myself. No, I'm not the only I'm not the only judge. I mean, I know what I did. You know, I had to go over images over and over and over again, so. But it was enjoyable, but it was also very, very time consuming. So, thank you so much. Bye.